Shalom. Kol halalim Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom, hearty shalom to the prophets of that body. And shalom to the 144,000 and one third. Okay, so double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And shalom to the prophets of that body. And shalom to the 144,000 and one third. May peace and blessing and the spirit of endurance be upon your households, be upon you and your households. Okay, as we approach the end, Lord willing, sooner rather than later. All right. I'm going to keep saying this every video. You know, Jake out there that's sincere wants to get the hell out of this hell. Get out of this hell that we're in, this condition. You know, pray to Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Pray without ceasing and ask the Lord, ask Abanoah Yahweh to send his son Yahweh Shai. Ask Yahweh Shem Shai to speed up the time, shorten the day, speed up his captivity. Ask Yahweh Shem Shai to bring his righteous rulership upon this earth and beyond. You know, so we can go back to our original state. Okay, Lord willing, if we're part of that number. Either way, you're an Israelite, you're blessed, but you know, you'd rather be part of the first fruits. You know, even if you're a 1/3, it's a brakim, you know. But anyway, let's get to the curses that are falling upon our enemies. All right. Now, coming up, before I knew about the truth, every time you would see a movie like this where it'd be a stay-home dad or oh yeah, what was that movie many years ago? It had John Travolta. We know John Travolta's an Israelite, okay, but they use him. I always seen that they always use Israelite foreigners to play angels. They always use Israelite foreigners sometimes to play who the world calls Jebus, right? They don't really use, well, for the most part, as far as I know, Edomites, because they know they use an actual Edomite like they did when they used Christopher Reeve to play Kal-El, all powerful Superman. What happened to Kal-El? He ended up being knocked off his horse, you know, because he's a servant on a horse, right? And the Lord put him in a wheelchair, all right? And they used John Travolta in that movie called Michael to play an angel. You know, other types of movies as well. And, oh yeah, see, I started digressing. What I was meant to say was every time I saw a movie, a hood type movie where Jake, they would always show a Jake as a stay-home dad. Or they would always show an Israelite, so-called black man especially, right? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, but they would focus on the so-called black man because the tribe of Judah, the head tribe, are so-called black, you know, are the so-called Negroes, right? Our brothers, all right? And they would always, you know, demonize Jake, make Jake look like a fool, make Jake look like a bum. When Jake built this, you know, Jacob is a former of all things and built everything in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, invented everything. Okay, but they'll make Jake always look like a bum. And every time, even if it's a comedy movie, there was a movie, I think it's called Roadhogs. That guy had John Travolta, Martin Lawrence, and no, Wild Hogs. Wild Hogs. It was Wild Hogs, 2007 movie. They had Martin Lawrence playing a house husband. His wife was a career woman, and his friends that looked like all Edomites. Who else was in it? Tim Allen was in it. The guy from Home Improvement, if you're old enough to remember that show. Decent, entertaining show back in the day. And another Edomite. And the two Jakes were definitely John Travolta and Martin Lawrence in it. But John Travolta's got the Edomite look, so that, you know, he'd play the Edomite part. But Martin Lawrence, being a visible Israelite, a so-called black man, they made him look like a bum, you know, a house husband. Okay? All our plight and all our pain is always mocked and ridiculed and made a joke of. Okay? You know, whether it's slavery, whether it's prison, whether it's being falsely accused of crimes, it's always spinned into a comedic fashion. When it comes to the ISH people, everything is so serious. Oh, so serious. Oh, look what happened to them in the 1940s, which is all bullshit anyway. You know, the 1948ers. Right? But now, what I'm saying all that to say this, we've seen the curses coming upon our enemies. Now, this new story is a little bit old, but how much more? It's about a couple of years old. But the fact that remains is these curses are coming upon our enemies. Okay? Where Esau Edom is a stay-home dad, and his wife is successful, jet-setting to Puerto Rico, probably getting diddled by Pablo, you know, in the hotel, you know. or the cabana boy or whatever, you know. And that's just me speculating, of course. But you know how Edomite women are, especially when they go to Latin American countries, they desire Jake, innit? They desire Jake. That's their nature. They desire the supreme male, under the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, which is the Israelite man, right? But anyway, she was jet setting and doing well and really succeeding, where her husband was a stay at home dad, right? But the fact remains is they lived in a nice neighborhood and everything, they could pay for things. They weren't lacking as far as I'm concerned from what I've watched. I'm not going to play the whole true crime, whatever this segment is. It's damn near 20 minutes. I'm not going to play all of it. I'll probably play maybe a minute and a half or whatever. But the fact remains is these curses are coming upon them. Okay. And he deleted his wife. Okay. So this is news stories a couple of years old. How much more now where these Edomites are deleting each other? All right. Because the judgment is beginning with our people first and foremost. But these crackers are getting it too. And it's only going to get worse for them. You think these Edomites are going to live in their cushy neighborhoods, happy, just trying to figure out what they're going to do with their day when they got a day off or a week off, while their lawns stay manicured and they live in a hunky-dory life, and they get paid really good money, and they're just living in freaking Disneyland all their life, You think it's not like that anymore for them. All right, the 50s, the 50s were the best for them. The 60s, 70s, 80s, into a stretch to the 90s, early 90s, it was good for them. All right, but the heyday was the 50s. Since since the late 90s, I remember back in 99, when early year 2000 started, I felt that there was a dark energy. I remember, I used to work at my local airport at that time, and I remember there was a dark energy coming in, and you could feel that the tide was changing. And I didn't know anything about the Israelites back then, of course. This is the late 90s. All right. And now we're seeing, the way we fell and these crackers took over the earth. All right. Slowly but surely. Now we're seeing these crackers fall and we're coming back to our power, Okay. We're coming back to our original state, but we're getting this slowly. Okay. But the thing is, our situation is going to come, we're going to come back on top faster. Okay. Because time is short. All right. But these devils, man. All right, their time in the sun is literally over. They can't go in the damn sun anyway. I mean, not the damn sun. They can't go in the blessed sun anyway. Okay? Right? These damn Edomites. Okay? So, and also, and this is very spiritual. It says here, house of lies. Edomites' world is a house of lies. It's a house of cards, which is a temporary kingdom, like in the book of Daniel. We're at the point, we're at that dream of at the concrete feet now, concrete and iron. Right? All these lies, they're the people that everybody wants to be. All those lies are being washed away now. They're Yahushai, showing Edomites with a hippie look, looking like the Bee Gees, wearing a nightie, saying that they're Jebus. They're showing themselves as Yahushai, showing themselves as the Most High Yahushai, showing themselves as King David, showing themselves as King Solomon, showing themselves as Moses, showing themselves as Robin Hood, showing themselves as the Knights of the Round Table, showing themselves as the Knights, the British, the Irish, the Scottish, showing themselves as that. That's all being washed away. Even their own cohorts, their own Edomite people from Russia and other parts of the world are even opening up vaults, especially Russia, showing the so-called black icons and images. Okay? And the house of lies is falling and these curses are coming upon these damn fucking Edomites, man. And I hate them with a passion, I tell you. Even before I knew the truth, I never liked crackers, man. Being an Israelite foreigner from northern India, I always knew about the British and what they did and what they were about. And I remember catching buses when I was a young man before I started driving. You'd bump into West Indian Jakes on the bus, and we'd talk and commiserate and shoot the shit, talk about how much we hate the white man and what we had in common. And now it all comes today. Why I was always so cool with Benjamin. Because we're the same people, man. And Judah as well, Nigerian, Ghanaian Jakes. They were always cool, man. With me anyway, Lord willing. Anyway, let's play this. I know I'm all over the place, but sometimes you want to blurt out what's on your mind. And what I'm saying is not incorrect. It's just it's sporadic from, bits and bobs from here and there. So salakia for that, man. It's just, oh, man, each day we get through, I just keep thinking about the kingdom, man. Lord willing, man. Lord willing, oh, Can't wait to get the hell out of this hell, man. But we got this last 100-meter stretch to go, and we're gonna, Lord willing, make it through to the finishing line and through it with flying colors, man. All right, we got the result. We just have to go through the motions. Okay, let's play this, and we're gonna go to some scriptures. I'm only gonna play about a minute and a half just to give you a gist of what's going on with these damn devils.
A successful executive goes off the grid, and her distraught husband is at a loss.
You see her? Please.
The family's beautiful teen nanny in the middle.
The venom just began spewing out of her mouth.
Then, the most gruesome discovery of all. Tara Grant was a beautiful and smart small-town girl with big city dreams.
Beautiful.
In the corporate world, she kept moving up the ladder. She was a perfectionist.
But according to some, that perfectionist married her opposite, odd and awkward Stephen Grant.
He was the guy that you thought would grow up and rob a liquor store and leave his name tag on, and you'd see him on The Stupidest Criminals. Steve wasn't the most popular kid in the world. He wasn't the best looking. And so I guess when I saw his wife, I was like, wow, good job, Steve. I never thought you would get someone like Tara.
Snagging Tara was a real coup for Stephen.
Tara's success allowed them to have a very successful life. They lived in a really nice neighborhood. They drove new cars. Their children attended a private school.
But with those successes came some sacrifices.
Tara was working in San Juan and working Monday through Friday, and then she would jump on a jet Friday afternoon and go back to Detroit and spend a weekend, and then boom, back on the plane on Monday to her work life.
While Tara was excelling at her job in sun-soaked San Juan, Puerto Rico, Stephen, who had dreamed of working in politics, was holding down the fort at home as a soccer coach and self-proclaimed Mr. Mom to their two children.
Stephen Grant loved taking care of his children. He was extremely present in their day-to-day lives.
They seemed to be making it work, but were they really?
Their public face of this couple seemed a lot more normal than what might have been simmering inside those doors.
What was simmering was heading toward a rapid boil, and it was Stephen's growing resentment that was fanning the flames.
I think that on some level, her ascension and his flatline, being, left there with kids, I think in the back of his mind, he certainly felt maybe a little bit emasculated by that.
So they fought, and Stephen sought the attention of another.
Steve had a girlfriend before he met Tara. They had reconnected. He was looking for someone to make him feel wanted.
Maybe several someones. It seemed like he was also taking a fancy to the family's beautiful 18-year-old nanny, Verena.
The Grants had employed a German au pair who lived in their home to take care of their children. Stephen began to talk to her because she was the only person in the home with him, while Tara was working. And then their conversations turned sexual. He told her bluntly that he would like to sleep with her.
Was it just flirting, or did things become physical? Reportedly, a very jealous Stephen suspected Tara had someone on the side herself.
He found some things on her computer about a previous relationship, and it looked like that this relationship had been rekindled.
And he believed an affair with her boss was making Tara's weekly island getaways less work, more pleasure. Regardless of their actual or perceived dalliances, at least for the time being, they were staying together until night, when it all went to hell.
Just bear with me. I'm just gonna get some scriptures now. Excuse me.
It is a freezing Friday evening in February when Tara arrives home from Puerto Rico and informs Stephen she's going back on.
Okay, I'm not going to play the whole thing. All right, we got the idea of what's going on with them. I didn't watch the whole video, but I speculated. She was working in San Juan for a week, then she'd jet set and go back to her job. All right, so a lot was going on within that household. So it's not always happy days for these Edomites, and it's not happy days ever for them ever again. They're not going to have that. It's over for them. Okay, these crackers can look into the mirror every day knowing that they're not going to ever have happiness again. Whatever they have, right? Whatever they have, memories, all the lies that they grew up on, because the skirts are being lifted upon their face, right? All the lies are coming out. All the happy days, all the movies they grew up on, and um, you know, um, everything, all the lies are being exposed, and they know that. That's why they don't have the optimistic feeling anymore, right? That's why you have these bug out Edomites that live in the 1950s. I just watched a video this morning of this woman. She lives in California, right? And she lives in, she's got a whole house done up on the inside like 1955, and she wears 1955 clothing. I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but they're all trying to live in the past, okay? Because they know that was a better time. And these devils know something ain't right, and they know they're going into slavery. They can't put their finger on it, but a lot of them know. Some of them don't know, but they're all going into slavery, man. All right, they're all going into slavery, and they can't. They look in the mirror knowing that those good times are not going to ever come back, and they know America is finished, and these curses are coming upon our enemies. All right, look what Esau Edom did to our people, man. They took the man out of the house. All right, and every time an Israelite woman would get a man or her husband or the father of the children would come and visit, he'd have to sneak and run away because the woman, I don't know, or the person that would come and check up on the house, does she have a man in the house? Because if she had a man in the house, she wouldn't get her benefits. She wouldn't get her money, right, to buy food and pay the bills and all that. Okay? So basically, it was an incentive to break up the Israelite household. Okay? And the curse of women compassing men was a common theme amongst our people, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. And I remember coming up 20 plus years ago, always going to, you're for a job interview in a London office or whatever. I'd always go there. You see these beautiful, exotic women. You see some Israelite foreigner women from northern India. They look like Latinas. You see some actual Latina women. You see some so-called West Indian women, Nigerian women, very attractive women. And I said, where are the brothers at? I'd always say to myself, where are the brothers? And you'd be interviewed by a honky, right? By an Edomite. And I'd say, where are the brothers at? Why? Because it's done by design for them to give the jobs or the good jobs to our women, right? But Jacob would be at home sitting in his drawers at the breakfast table, scratching his head, trying to look for a job, eating his cornflakes. Now these curses are coming upon our enemies. All right. The same way they propped up the woman over the man on this side. Now these women are feeling the heat that no man wants them now. And Isaiah 4:1 is almost about to come into play. All right. These curses are coming upon our enemies, man. All right. Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh Shem Yashai hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. All right. From the days of when our women and even heathen women would say, my Lord, can I do this for you? Can I do that for you? Right? To the point where women are saying, fuck nigga, bitch nigga, all this bullshit. Right? We fell, right? We regressed heavy, man, because of the curses. Now these crackers and heathens are feeling it. These gooks are scared. Their women want Jake. The white woman wants Jake. Every woman under the sun wants Jake. Okay? When I say Jake, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and also the Israelite foreigners too. All right? Because a lot of the Israelite foreigners look like the tribes, but they just grew up in a different culture. All right? They just grew up in a different culture. Like a Latino man can look like a Northern Indian. A Northern Indian can look like a Latino man, for example. That's an example. You'd see like a Judite brother from America. He'd look like a dark-skinned Northern Indian brother. I've got family members of all different shades, man. Okay, so I'm just saying. All right, but yeah, they desire the Israelite foreigner man too. Hell, man, these heathen women are going so low. They're going for heathen men too. Elam's banging. Listen, man, these curses been on these heathens, man. In the 70s and 80s and 90s, everybody used to say, all men of color say, yeah, you want to get some pussy, get yourself a white woman, man. They're easy, you know, you know. And even in their own rulership, these damn devils didn't look after their women. These damn devils didn't prop up their women like that. Their women, they put their women in porn. They put their women on the stroll, on the catwalk, because they're ruling the world, and every man of every nation saw the white woman and desired her, and they got her now. Okay, and that bitch jet setting to is it San Juan? She's there for 5 days a week, working there. Are you telling me, some tall, strong, comely Jake, Ephraimite Jake, didn't lay his eyes on her? I mean, she wasn't all that looking. You know what I mean? To me, she's gross to me. But some Jake would have probably diddled her. You know what I mean? Because she's got money and all that. But anyway, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh Shemeshah hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Now these damn devils are getting the curses. All right? Just a couple more scriptures, Jake. I'm just going to try and make it swift, Lord willing, Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. These motherfuckers are still persecuting us. Israelites are still being lynched to this day, but it's being brushed under the rug because it happens in remote areas, sometimes even happens in populated areas. But the police, the powers that be, the judges, the lawyers, they're all part of it. It's all brushed under the rug. The same way these MFers mess with little children, the graping, the PDF file stuff, they push it under the rug because they're all collectively involved. All right? They're all collectively involved. But now that's coming out. Right? All this information is coming out. All right? We're seeing, these people fall in real time. All right? And how do they persecute us? To this day, Jacob is still being lynched. To this day, the Israelite woman is still being lynched. To this day, Jacob is being gunned down and shot in the street. To this day, Jacob is being murdered, slowly but surely, with batons smashed over his head. To this day, our children are being kidnapped. The Judite child, the Benjaminite child, the Levite child, all the Northern Kingdom children. We know we've been seeing that. Northern Kingdom children in cages and shit. Being thrown out of planes. Deleted, eaten, graped. This thing's still going on. And these motherfuckers are going to pay, man. They're going to pay heavy. All right? And the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. All right? And these curses are going to go so heavy on these devils in the kingdom. Bruv, they're not going to see not a moment of peace. And that peace, actually, even when it's a Shabbat, they're still not going to get peace. We're going to send Satan to them to mess with them, fuck with their mind. All right? Because we're going to control Satan in the kingdom. He ain't going to be messing with the Israelites. He ain't going to be messing with us. All right? The elect. I mean, Israelites in general. But the elect are going to have command. We're going to be in them new bodies, Lord willing, very soon. All right? Okay. Another 2 more scriptures. I'm not the man. Sometimes you wish. I hate using the word wish, but that's that wacky tacky English we speak. And you look at our elders in awe. Like you're in awe by how they know the scriptures and the knowledge, and think, man, that's such beautiful knowledge. But in the kingdom, we'll have it, man. we're not going to be on the same knowledge. We're not going to be in the same knowledge-wise because there's different offices in it for each elect member. If you're part of that number, Ecclesiastes 3:2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. All right. Now the Lord is, the Lord planted Esau's kingdom. All right. They came and built up the desolate places, as the Lord said. Now the Lord is demolishing their kingdom. You think a concrete kingdom is going to last forever? The way their roads, if you look at the roads and the buildings, everything's deteriorating. Shit, I remember in the 80s, the roads are smooth. The roads were nice. In the UK and other parts of the world, everything's effed up. You see videos of people in America showing how effed up the roads are, even in the nice areas here in the UK too. All right, so the Lord Yahweh Hashem Mashiach is literally plucking up Esau's rulership. All right, Ecclesiastes 3:2. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Okay, these crackers came, they built up the desolate places. Now their time is over. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Mashiach said, there are bounds that they cannot pass. There's an expiration date to their rulership. It's not going to go on forever. You think these crackers are going to rule forever? They're like they're spit. Okay, they are lower than the low. Okay, these damn devils. All right, lower than the low. But look what the Lord blessed them with. They had their time in the sun. They had time to rule. They had the time to feel like they're somebody. They had the time to feel that, the Most High looks like us. Yeah, the Messiah looks like us. Yeah, we are the ancient Israelites. We are the ancient Egyptians. We are the ancient Persians. We're the American ninja. We are the last samurai. We are the last Mohican. We are the native Indians. They make everybody look like them. All those lies are being washed away, man. They are fucking nobody, right? And the Lord Yahweh Hashem Mashiach loves his people, man, his elect, all right? So you think the Lord is going to keep his people down forever while these crackers rule? Hell no. All right? Ecclesiastes 3:2 again. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. All right? So we're coming into our rulership now, man. Let me just get 2 Ezra 6 verse 9. Then I'm going to finish it up there, Lord willing. Excuse me, I keep coughing, man. Every time I'm making a video. I got something to drink or got water next to me. All right. 2 Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau, who is the so-called white man, and under Esau, all the heathen rulerships come under them as well, because Esau is the head. And, the way on the right-hand side, we got the righteous that are in different offices that are one body. On the heathenistic side, on the left-hand side, you got Esau, Edom, right? And then all the other rulerships that are cohorts with them, the Gooks, the Elamites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the other Edomite nations and other non-Israelite nations, that meet in these summits and all the Hamites and all that, they are part of, they're under Esau's rulership, but they're also ruling too. That's why they get the blessings of loans and owning stores in Jake neighborhoods, the Arabs and all that. So they get their little crumbs off Esau's table. They're going to fall as well, and their world is ending too. All right? For Esau is the end of the world. So if Esau's world is ending, so is the heathens too. All right? No other heathen. Listen, this is our last heathen. This is our last captivity. Okay, the ultimate judge is coming. That's Yahweh Shai. All right? Time and time again, the Lord delivered us out of slavery. When we called upon the Lord, as we went off, in the book of Judges, now His Majesty Yahweh Shai is going to return, man, the ultimate judge. And this is it. All right? There's no more heathen rulership after this. All right? We are going to be in peace forever, man. All right? We're going to behold our King. All right? Our King, Lord willing, is going to look at us with favorable eyes, man. All right? When He returns. Okay? 2 Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau, the so-called white man, is the end of the world. And Jacob, all you Negroes, all you Latinos and Native Indians, but on this side, the elect and the Israelite foreigners too, that are from the loins of the royal tribes, okay? And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The world is not going to end like in that bullshit movie Armageddon. All right? The world is not going to end. Okay? Now, Armageddon is going to happen, Armageddon, in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, so-called Middle East, West Asia. Yeah. But rulerships are going to change. Haven't you ever Has it ever computed in your mind? I used to always think about it. Why do they keep showing America being destroyed? I was always, I remember being in Canada, in Toronto in 1998. I watched Truman Show and I watched Armageddon, the summer of 98, May, June. And I was there, right? And I thought, what the fuck? They keep showing movies of America being destroyed. And lo and behold, many years later, you find out America is ground zero Babylon. It's Rome all over again. It's going to be destroyed. Okay, the world is not going to end. Rulerships are going to change. Okay? The tail is going to be the head, and now the head is going to be the tail. These crackers are going to fall, and they're going to fall hard. And they're going to chimp out, like these crackers used to like to say, that, oh, you haven't seen a white man chimp out. Yes, we have, and you're going to chimp out even more. You damn monkey. Right? And all you two-thirds need to go that are a road bump, okay, for us, okay? And all you horrible women that are in the way of Jacob, I need to go as well. And the Lord is going to do a lot of purging, man. The Lord is doing it, and the Lord is going to increase it. And you crackers are going to get it even more harder now, Lord willing, okay? I'm going to leave it there now, all right? Let me read 2 Ezra 6 verse 9 again. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. We are coming to eternal happiness. We are coming to eternal rulership. There is not going to be an expiration date for our rulership, okay? But all these heathenistic rulerships, there's expiration dates to them, okay? Expiration dates to them. Paraphrasing a scripture, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. But I'll just loosely paraphrase that, okay? So our time is coming. All praises, honor, glory, and blessings and power be unto Abano Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yashai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, Mawatha Bad Babal, Kwam Yashwala, Shalom.